Hi folks, Greeno here, in the rain. Where am I today? Well, I'm down in South Wales, I'm in Swansea, and I have come here because I want to get a breakfast. Now, I've done a lot of full English breakfasts on my channel. I went to Dublin recently and did a full Irish breakfast, but I haven't done a full Welsh breakfast. Now, a full Welsh breakfast has got a bit more of a difference to it than your Irish, Scottish, English. There's a couple of elements which are a bit of a surprise generally to people, I think. So we're going to get in and try it. So where am I? I'm at the Welsh House. This is a small chain of, I think it's 4 different establishments across South Wales: Swansea, Cardiff, Neath, one other, can't remember where. And they do a lot to promote Welsh recipes, the use of Welsh lamb, that sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to a Welsh breakfast. We're going to see what they got. We might get 2 different options and see what it's all about. Anyway, I need to get in out of this rain. Come on. Right guys, so I've come inside and I've been seated, and do you know what? It's lovely and dry and warm in here. You can't go wrong. It is pretty grim outside. Do you know what? I've been really lucky on my travels this year. I went to France, we were there for nearly 3 weeks, 1 day of rain. I went to Dublin, no rain there at all. I went to Yorkshire even, no rain there. Come to South Wales, chucking it down, snow, sleet, all sorts. For those of you who don't know, I actually used to live in South Wales. And that was one of the things that kind of annoyed me a little bit about it. You'd drive over the Severn Bridge and the clouds would descend upon you. Anyway, like I say, we're in the warm, and I really like the vibe of this place. It's really nicely decorated. Lots of Welsh touches around. There's little daffodils in the sort of bird cage style. Lampshades in here. Lots of little Welsh touches around, which is really nice. In fact, even their cocktail menu has got just loads of different Welsh kind of ingredients in it. So I'm here for the breakfast. So I've got a breakfast menu here. Going to get a nice cup of tea to warm me up first off. So I've gone for the Brecwast Cymraeg. Now, apologies to Welsh folk out there for my pronunciation. I know it's not perfect. That comes with Welsh rarebit on toast, Selwyn's cockles, yes, cockles on a breakfast, laverbread. That is basically cooked up seaweed. Yes, seaweed on a breakfast. Crispy streaky bacon and a poached Welsh egg. And that's £9.95, which I don't think sounds unreasonable at all. I've also gone for a miner's hash. Now, of course, South Wales, very, very well known throughout its history for its coal mining heritage. No longer, of course, since Maggie Thatcher had her way. Less said about that, the better, probably. But this miner's hash comes with Treely Farm black pudding and a potato hash, and that's topped with a Welsh fried egg, and that's £7.95. And I've gone for tea with that. I don't know how much the tea is. Does it say here on the menu? It does, yeah, £2.50. So overall, it's going to cost me just over £20, I guess. I don't think that's unreasonable. It's a really nice venue here, right down on the waterfront in Swansea. Lots of redevelopment going on in this area. There's building work everywhere. They're really investing some cash, getting it up together. And it's really nice down here, to be honest, already. So, yeah, when they finished it, I reckon it's going to be really, really popular if they get the weather for people to come and sit down in the summer outside and whatever. Okay, so I have my cup of tea now. And look at this nice little branded mug with the Welsh House written on there, which is very, very nice. Nicely presented. Pour out some of this tea. Looks a good colour to me. There we go. And we've got a nice milk jug here too. Get that in there, just a little splash. Don't need much of that in there. I like my tea quite strong. Yeah, that looks good. That is going to keep the cold out. Hopefully anyway, thaw me out a little bit. I actually walked here this morning from a hotel I stayed in last night. It was about a 20-minute walk in the sleet. Should have got an Uber. Oh yeah, that is exactly what I need. I can feel it thawing my insides out already. Lovely. Let me know in the comments section down below whether you've ever had a full Welsh breakfast. It doesn't seem to be that prevalent around. Obviously, you go to Ireland and everywhere claims to have a full Irish breakfast, although the one I got at the Hairy Lemon did get a little bit of criticism from some people in the comments section that it wasn't a genuine Irish breakfast. Obviously, up in Northern Ireland, you get the Ulster fry, and up in Scotland, the full Scottish breakfast. You can get them pretty much everywhere, and I will be heading up to Scotland at some point to try one. But the full Welsh breakfast, with the cockles, with the laverbread, you don't tend to see quite so much. I had a good look. Basically, I had to come all the way down to Swansea because I couldn't find any in sort of Cardiff, Newport, that sort of southeast Wales area. So I've come over to Swansea. There were a couple of little cafes around, but this place, I think, it looks smart inside. And like I say, they're doing a lot to try and promote Welsh produce in here. So I thought that was a really good place to pick to try and do it. So let me know if you've ever had one, or what you think about having cockles and laverbread on a breakfast. Yeah, not quite sure about it myself, but we will see. I mentioned how much they're trying to promote Welsh products here. Even the tea is a Welsh brew tea. So it says there's some people called Alan, James and Sarah who have been blending African and Indian teas together to complement the wonderful Welsh water. So this is called Welsh Brew, the company they've got. They also use Welsh coffee as well, apparently. Presumably not grown in Wales. But yeah, it's really good how much they are supporting local folk. The whole breakfast menu has got lots and lots of different options on. There's vegan food, there's a small kind of, something that looks more like an English breakfast than a Welsh breakfast, to be honest with you. They've got bacon and sausage and egg sandwiches. They even do crimpog, which I think is pancakes. So yeah, really, really interesting menu. Anyway, I think my breakfast is going to be here in a minute, so I'm excited for it. Well, my breakfasts have arrived, fresh from the kitchen, and they look absolutely spectacular. Come and have a closer look, folks. Wow. The presentation on these is absolutely spectacular, isn't it? Really, really visually appealing. So we've got the full Welsh breakfast here. She's got the sourdough toast with the rare bit topping on there, poached egg, lots of cockles all over it, and the streaky bacon there. You can't see the laverbread anywhere yet. It's probably just tucked in amongst all of that. But that's really a pretty presentation, isn't it? I've seen a lot of Welsh breakfast where basically you just get a big dollop of this cooked seaweed on the side. This is obviously elevated a little bit from there. And the minus hash here as well. So it's a nice little sort of hash cake, if you look at it from this side, which is kind of deconstructs as you come round this side, with a beautiful looking fried egg on the top. So I think what we're going to do is open up the egg. Always, always a winner for me, that. So come and have a look at how the egg's cut open. Okay, so we're going to move this little bit of greenery out of the way so we can see how the egg cuts. There we go. Oh, look at that, just dripping down the side there. So the fried egg is a success. And before we start on either of these, we're going to also open up the poached egg here. Oh, the laverbread, I think, is, you can see sort of little flecks of the seaweed underneath there on the egg, almost like a seasoning. Let's see how this cuts open. Again, look at that beautiful yolk inside. Nice and runny. Maybe a touch over, but that's only being really picky. It's not a hard yolk by any stretch of the imagination, is it? So I'm actually going to start with the minus hash here. So this is cooked potato with black pudding and a fried egg on the top. And I like the presentation of it. Black pudding's been cut into little cubes, tiny little bite-sized pieces. I've also asked for some brown sauce and been handed this little one here. You can see that. Welsh Lady, it says on the front. So it's obviously a locally made brown sauce even. They really are going all out on this, aren't they? So, like I said, the yolk cut open beautifully. We're going to try a little bit of this egg white first. It looks cooked just how I like it. No crispy bits on the edges. Very, very flavoursome egg. So we've got these nice sort of fried potatoes, nice and crispy to dig into them. Yeah, they are crispy. Wow. Lightly salted. Not greasy. So they've got a lovely crunch to them. And because they're only small pieces, you've still got a little bit of softness in the middle, which works really nicely. We get the black pudding as well. We'll just try that by itself first. Little cubes of it here. And again, you're getting the crispness on the outside, but nice and soft little middle pieces to it. And a great flavour. Really intense. I think what we'll do, we'll try a little bit of this all together. So we'll get a little bit of the egg white here. Some of the black pudding, some of the potato. And we'll get it into some of this runny egg yolk as well. Here we go. Oh, look at that. That's what we're talking about. It works together as a lovely combination. You've got the softness of that egg, the crunch of that potato, and that kind of almost earthiness you get from black pudding. Let's try it with this brown sauce as well. Oh, come back here, little black pudding. You are not escaping from me, mate. That is so tasty. Such a beautiful combination of flavours. You add in the brown sauce, got a little bit of tartness, a little bit of sweetness to it. Yeah, that really works. We're going to move on to the Welsh breakfast now. Swap the plates around. There we are. We'll turn this around so you can see inside the egg again there. Little slurp of tea. This is my second cup out of that pot. And just to let you know, I came in here dead on the dot of them opening at 10 o'clock in the morning. It looks pretty quiet then, but now we're starting to get people turning up. You can see them wandering around in the background. More people coming in for their breakfasts. So, again, we'll start with this egg. This is a poached egg rather than a fried egg this time. It has a lovely flavour. Tiny little touch of vinegar in the poaching liquid. Let's try these cockles. Now, cockles, for those of you who don't know, are tiny little shellfish. Apologies for the background noise at the moment. Loads of people coming in. Obviously a big party altogether. Now the cockles are only slightly warmed. Really salty, meaty. It's a slightly unusual taste and texture for me on a breakfast. But I can see how it works. I'm used to having cockles as maybe an accompaniment with a fish and chips, or back in the day where you'd be in a pub late at night, like the shellfish man would come around with a tray of shellfish, and maybe you'd get some cockles from them. Have a look at this bacon. This is streaky bacon. I can't even pick it up with the fork. It's so crispy and lovely. Wow. The flavour of that bacon is out of this world. Goodness me. That's exceptional. Really meaty texture to it. Nice and salty. Because it's streaky, it's got that fat content in. Goodness me, that's good. Oh, I think we've got 2 poached eggs on this. I didn't realise that. I thought it was just going to be 1. That's an extra little bonus, and that one's just as runny as the first one. Excellent news. Excellent. The egg and the cockles actually work together quite well. I do quite like that. It's almost a little fishy taste from the shellfish, obviously. But you'd have eggs with smoked haddock or kippers even on a breakfast, wouldn't you? smoked salmon, so why not little shellfish? It does work. Now let's come underneath here and find where this rare bit is. So it's got the bacon on top of it. The laverbread, I think it's basically just a little bit of decoration. I was hoping to get a little bit more of it, but it's almost been used as like a seasoning on the egg. You can see little bits of it. I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to see close up enough on the camera, but on the egg there, see there's little green flecks. So it's almost just been used as like a salty kind of seasoning. But let's try this rare bit. So we've got the sourdough toast. Now rare bit, it's basically a mixture of kind of cheese and beer really, isn't it? You put it on top of the toast as like a paste and grill it. And it's delicious. It's delicious, so. Wow. The flavour of that is incredible. They've used a very mature cheese on there, kind of like a cheddar cheese, mixed in with that beer into a paste. It's lovely. We're going to try it with some of the cockles on the top. That works too. Kind of a salty combination. We've got the bacon too. Blimey. With all these salty elements, maybe I'm going to need a glass of water or something afterwards. We're going to get a bit of everything on here now. We've got the bacon, we've got some egg. Actually, we'll leave the cockles off for now. Just see how that works. Wow. Now, there may be some purists out there who will say this is not a traditional breakfast because it's been kind of jazzed up a little bit, prettied up a little bit. But there's no one out there that can tell me this isn't a delicious breakfast. I'd say even in all the years I lived up here, which in total was probably about 10 or 12, I guess, I never had a full Welsh breakfast. Let me tell you, if they all taste like this, I was missing out. Actually, before I finish up and talk outside, I wanted to come back to the miner's breakfast because after finishing up the full Welsh breakfast there, I came back to this and discovered there was a little sort of tomatoey relish at the very bottom of it, which added a little bit of sweetness to the dish. And really married up very nicely with the potato, with the black pudding. Now, like I said before, I'm sure there will be traditionalists out there who say this isn't like a proper full Welsh breakfast because you haven't got like a big dollop of laverbread, big pile of cockles, you know, done in a sort of calf style. But for me, I have no criticisms along those lines. Would I have liked a little bit more of the laverbread? Perhaps. So you can taste what it's all about. Do I have any complaints about anything I've received? Absolutely not. Really nice produce, really nicely presented, in a very nice venue, and really well cooked. Let me tell you, Greeno is a happy boy. Right then guys, so what do I think of my first experience of a full Welsh breakfast? I'm thinking I should have filmed the outro indoors, that's for sure. Getting wet here, hopefully the camera will be all right. I really enjoyed it. Like I say, probably not what a traditionalist would call a full Welsh. It's like a modern twist on it, but I've got to tell you, it was delicious from start to finish. We had the full Welsh breakfast. The only thing I would sort of criticise them for is that if they're going to say it's got laverbread, I'd like to have seen a bit more of that. But I got no issue with the rare bit, the bacon, the egg, cookery, anything like that, absolutely great. And the cockles on there as well, just worked really well. The miner's hash, really enjoyed that. Little cubes of black pudding, nice fried potatoes in there. Again, perfect egg cookery. And that nice little surprise towards the end where I found that little kind of tomato relishy chutney thing at the bottom. That was good. And a cup of tea, or a pot of tea. So overall, the breakfast was £9.95. Now, the miner's hash on the menu said £7.95, but I just checked the receipt, and it's on here at £5.95. So who knows? And the tea was £2.50. So overall, £18.40. No service charge on there either. So that's really good, I think. So in terms of a score, what am I going to give this? I mean, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the cookery of it. I liked the place. I liked the service. Just wanted a bit more of that lava bread. So I'm going to say it's a 4.5 out of 5, I think. Maybe 4 3/4. Yeah, 4 3/4 out of 5. Just a tiny smidgen off for that little lava bread thing. But yeah, I mean, if you're in Swansea, this is a great place to come for breakfast. Stop the press, folks. I'm walking back towards my hotel after finishing up the review there, down by the waterfront. And I've been thinking about the score I gave this place. A 4 3/4 out of 5. And I think that's possibly even a little harsh, because I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it a 4.9. 4.9, just a tiny little fraction taken off because there wasn't enough lava bread and I really wanted to try it. That's it, 4.9. Does it get Greeno's green light? You bet your life it does. Right, back to Greeno of a few minutes ago. Let's close the video out. Like I say, towards the end, the restaurant was filling up with people. There was a big party of about 16 or whatever came in for breakfast, a few other little tables around, and this is just on a wet Wednesday in November. So I should imagine other times of year it gets really busy. Evening menu as well, lots of Welsh lamb on there and all sorts of things like that. Definitely come and give this place a try. It's really good. Right then, folks, so if you've enjoyed today's video looking at the Welsh House here in Swansea, there are other branches available, like I say, further down the coast towards the east, then why not click a thumbs up on there for me and help the channel. And if you've enjoyed this video, why not check out some more of the content and maybe subscribe. There's about 250 videos probably in the vault at the moment, so there's bound to be something else you'll enjoy, right? Anyway, where am I off to next? You'll have to wait for the next video to find out, won't you? I will see you then. Bye for now.